Welcome to Behind the Shield, episode 42. Today, not one guest, but five, as we welcome the York College women's golf squad to the broadcast. Hello again, everybody. Scott Geist joining you for another episode of Behind the Shield. Today, we welcome Emma Harding, Anna Moore, Jordan Koller, Shelby Tapman, and Natalie Robson, as the women's golf team has been unbelievable so far this year. They picked up the MAC championship, are going to the NCAA Tournament for the first time ever, and have an unbelievable culture. So we touch on all of those topics during this conversation. It's been a while, but we are happy to be back and happy to be joining you again. After this commercial break, we'll talk to the York College women's golf team.
You've probably heard a lot about changes on campus, about how classes will look a little different, or how the dining hall won't be set up like it was last year. You may have heard we'll be living with a new normal. But the truth is, at York College of Pennsylvania, normal has never been our thing. If by normal you mean predictable, usual, commonplace, average, that's not us. Our normal is extraordinary, exceptional, remarkable. Our normal is about taking responsibility, thinking of others, and treating people with respect. Here, normal means being compassionate. It means protecting the person next to us to ensure safety and good health for all of us, because we know we're in this together. For us, wearing masks and social distancing aren't really a new normal. They're just another example of what's always been important to us. Joining efforts to find real solutions to achieve our goals, to help our community thrive, and to show that we care. That's not a new normal. That's our normal, and we are grateful that you're part of it. Welcome home, Spartans.
Welcome to a very special edition of Behind the Shield. Today we are joined by our women's golf team, the 2021 MAC champions, as we captured a title the first year in the league. So we're going to go around and introduce everybody before we get started. So Emma, why don't you get us started?
Sure. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a senior nursing major from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I am a junior sport management major from Brookville, Maryland.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm a junior psychology major from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm a junior HR management major from Salisbury, Maryland.
I'm Natalie. I'm a public relations major. I'm also a sophomore here at York College, and I'm from Sarasota, Florida.
Well, guys, welcome. It's great to have you. Let's talk a little bit first, and I'm going to have Emma go first on this one. Winning a conference title, you've now been a part of two of them in the 4 years of our program. You're one of the founding members. What did it feel like this year to head into the league and, really have a great year all the way through, won all the tournaments we played in this year, and then to win a conference title and now have a chance to go to the NCAA? What does that feel like for you?
Yeah, so from the beginning of the season, nationals was pretty much our goal the entire time. It was always in the back of our minds, and every time we set out to a new tournament, that was what this is just one step closer to that. Since the beginning, we dominated the season just right out the gate. It was pretty cool to watch all of us get frustrated with ourselves by shooting high 70s when we've all been at the low 70 end. So it was pretty cool to watch that. And then just in general, everything from the season kind of led up to Max. Any videos that you see of me, I know I was crying. I was very emotional that day, just because from the first day of Max, it was close the entire way through. And just that sense of knowing that we accomplished it at the end was really amazing. So, yeah.
Now, I did not get a sense, though, that there was any sense of panic. Even Sunday, we're on the back nine, down a little bit. And quite frankly, that's a surprise because we hadn't really had a close tournament all year. Was there a sense of calm with you guys that you knew, man, we're not playing great, but we're going to be able to pull this out?
Yeah, I think we've all had that experience, or at least Shelby, Anna, Emma, and I had that experience when we won the CAC back in 2019, and going into the last day tied. with CNU that year. And so I think, yeah, coming into this, we knew what we could do. And that back nine, I think we all kind of knew where we were at. And we knew what we were able to do. We all trusted each other. So I don't think, yeah, I think it was just a sense of calm and like, okay, we just got to get this done, hole by hole, shot by shot. There was never, I don't think, a doubt in any of our minds, even when we were back, that we couldn't pull it out.
On like,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No,
Well, I was just going to say, like, around hole 12 is kind of when we all, at least Shelby and I figured it out. Boz kind of came up to both of us and was like, the three, like, Natalie, Anna, and Jordan, they're all ahead of you. They're almost done. So this match is up to you two. And at that point, we were losing by 10. And that was the first time we were losing this season. So at that moment, that was kind of like, well, really gotta pull it together, and I think we did a pretty good job.
It felt like too, though, there wasn't any sense of panic. It was like, okay, we have a job to do. Shelby, he talked specifically, had mentioned you that, hey, you got to go beat your girl by 3 or 4 strokes. Is that something for you that you go, is that pressure? Or is that kind of like, okay, let's go. I got to turn it up a little bit.
It's not really pressure. It's just me kicking into gear, knowing that I have 4 other people depending on me, and I don't want to let them down.
Is that kind of what carries all of you guys? It's like you want to play. Obviously, you guys want to play well for yourself because you want to play well. Nobody wants to play poorly. I'll do that enough for everybody. But, the idea of I don't want to let my teammates down because I care about them. And I want to be able to be a part of it. Is that a feeling for you guys?
I think that's why this year we were so successful, or at least a big part of it is that we are such a team and we're playing for each other. No one's out there as an individual trying to win as an individual. We want to do well as a team. And that's everyone's main focus.
Is that something that has to be cultivated? And, we talked about it in the post-game interview after the championships. And is that something that just has naturally, organically happened? Or is it something you guys have to work at? Obviously, you like each other, which is a big part of it. But that dependence on others, is that something that has kind of grown over time? Or is it something you guys have had to work at? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I definitely feel that it has happened over time. We've just been able to trust each other, and we know each other's games. We know what we're good at, what our weaknesses are. So, yeah, like we just trust each other, and we have that bond, and we know that, well, if one person is maybe not playing to the best of their ability, then we know that the other person will try their best.
Does that ultimately relax you a little bit? Like, if I have a bad hole, it's like, okay, well, somebody else is going to pick me up and we're going to be okay. Because I think the one thing that the tournament really showed for the first time this year with having multiple days, normally that's a normal thing for us, but not during this spring because of the way the schedule was. But when you have a multiple day tournament and somebody plays, you might have a great round first and then you might struggle on day 2. Does it ease your mind a little bit to know, all right, my teammates have my back. I know that we can do this and really be able to relax and perform to your best?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jordan.
I can speak to that from day 1 and stuff. I had a tough round that day, but going through that, I knew what everybody else was doing and how they were shooting, and I knew that they had my back. I think Natalie shot like 1 over par day 1, Anna shot I think like a 78, and so them behind me playing that really well. Even when we have a bad day, it's good to know I have people to rely on who are able to get it done that day.
I think one of the things too that was a lot different for us coming into Max was the fact that this year, every tournament before then, we were playing with our own team. So we didn't have the experience of other schools. And for most of the time when we were in that little squad of ourselves, we're grinding together and we're actually watching what everybody's doing. So then we would feed off of each other. And even in practice, like all of us are our own competition. So like we're always trying, not that it's like individual, but we're always trying to like match up to Natalie because Natalie's our number one. So we're always like, okay, well, what do I need to do with this part to just be at Natalie's level in practice? That's just like a way to like get ourselves ready for pressure. So then going into Max, when we were separated and we were with different schools and we have that pressure again, it was really cool to see that transfers. I think a couple, like we did struggle for a little bit in the beginning, just kind of getting used to that pressure again. But I think that just speaks again to how our team is, that we can adjust to that.
And I feel like this season, playing with each other, that's where honestly we developed that bond and we have that knowledge and that trust for sure, because we've been playing with each other every competition. So I've watched Emma play golf and I see, oh my gosh, Emma's such a good putter. Like I know I can rely that Emma's gonna make some putts on the course.
Do you think that helped in playing together? Because does it help recognize each player's strengths? Like you look at, maybe how Anna drives the ball, or Natalie's short game, or Emma, whatever it may be. Does that give you more confidence in your teammates because you spent the entire spring playing with them?
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, even though we play together in practice every single day, all season, tournaments are just kind of a different atmosphere. Everyone, at least I know I am. I'm very different in practice. It's a much more like zoned in. You take a lot more time over shots and be able to see everyone in that zone and play in a group and see how well they can do when it comes down to it. You have to do well. Kind of helps develop that trust when we're not together.
I think it was really neat to get to follow you guys a couple of times during the spring and get to see you guys, how you interacted together. The one thing that I kept coming back to is when the chips are down, you guys just have that supreme confidence, not only in yourselves, but each other. And I think that plays a huge role in that. Let's pivot a little bit. Let's go to talking about the national tournament. Obviously, a first time in York College, which is, it's not a long history. It's 4 years, which is pretty impressive. What does it mean to have the ability to go compete with some of the best teams in Division III? And really, let's see how you match up. Is it something that you guys are excited about doing?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, that's been our goal since, not even just this year, since we got here. I know for Shelby, Jordan, Emma, when they got here the year before us, and that's everyone's goal has been to get to a national championship. And especially this past year, we know that we're playing really well. We know that we can compete with them. I think we're in the best position to do that this year compared to other years. So to be able to get to do that is huge.
And I think also that this has given us an increased confidence because, well, now we know that we are actually an extremely good team and we know that we can compete and we can actually go and win that national championship.
Does it give you confidence knowing that essentially all 5 of you are back next year and you're going to have an opportunity to not only get experience this year, but potentially set yourselves up to make another run at it next year? And, not to say you can't do well this year, because I think we certainly can. But I think that big stage the first time can be a little different. It can be a little bit more difficult. Do you believe that this year is really about going and having the experience and really playing, getting an opportunity to have fun, but maybe setting a stage for next year as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think because, we all are coming back next year. I just think that, this year every time I think just getting to the national tournament is probably the hardest part. And this is qualifying. Once we're there, it's about playing the best that we can. But I definitely think regardless of how we play this year, I think we're only going to get stronger. And so even if we don't win this year, we're going to have a good run at it next year as well.
The goal is to set the bar high. So we're going to go in there and we're going to really set it up so that next year it's going to be either the second win or pretty close. So
I think it's really cool to see how you guys have taken advantage of the year. Obviously, the fall not great. You're kind of spending time in your room by yourself because there's nothing else you can do. And golf, obviously, you're able to be able to go practice and compete, but we didn't have a season. How grateful were you this year to be able to have the spring, to be able to play together, and to be able to compete?
Yeah, that first tournament that we had, I know Jordan and I, we were driving on our way to that first tournament, and Jordan was so pumped up. I've not seen her that way like ever. It was but anyway, I remember stepping onto that first tee box and just thinking, wow, like I really miss this a lot. So having the opportunity to play this semester really made me think of, wow, I really took advantage of it when we actually had the opportunity to play. So before the COVID. So
I think the other part too, like season wise, is just to be able to do it for our seniors. Like even the guys side, like they are also going to the national championship, and Matt, Luke, Joel, like they have also been here for 4 years. And I mean, unfortunately we lost like last spring. So like Zach, Bill, like all of these people and any senior across the board last year didn't get to play their spring season. So to go out and represent like just the senior class and like give them a season was just a nice, like the cherry on top for the season.
How this it kind of reminds me, as you were talking about that, what kind of relationship do you guys have with the men's golf team? Obviously, you guys spend time together at practice, and when we're going to the same places for a tournament. What are the relationships like with you guys? And it seems very good. And they probably are a group that you can bounce things off of because they're going through the same things you guys are going through. What is that relationship like with the guys?
Yeah. We're super close. I know like every single guy texted every one of us before we set out to Max, and they're all telling us like good luck and anything else. And even after the round, they're the first people to kind of come to us and congratulate us and all that stuff. So to say that we're both of these teams have gotten so close these last few years. So it's pretty awesome.
And I always say too that there is a men's and a women's golf team, but really it's just one big golf team, to be quite honest. And that's what's so great. You can rely on the guys to help support you and motivate you.
One thing I wanted to talk about too, you had teammates, which was really cool, on Sunday, be able to come out and follow you guys. What did that mean to you to be able to have, it would have been very easy for everybody else to boo-hoo, oh, I don't get to play this weekend. What did it mean to you guys to see them out there supporting you guys?
That means really knowing that they're there supporting us and they're cheering us on just like we would for them, and that's everything.
Go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say it really meant a lot because even though they weren't actually playing, just seeing them there walking gave us that boost of confidence, especially on the back nine when we knew we were down. They were standing there saying good shot every time. They were following us. They were cheering us on. And it was really nice.
And they were just as pumped. Like Carrie, Betty, Brenna, and Taylor, like they're so awesome. And I mean, if we could take everybody to nationals, I'm sure we would. But they're the first people that said like, hey, we're booking our flights too. So don't forget about like the professional photographers we have and stuff like that. So, I mean, it is just so awesome to be able to be out there. And even the people that we were playing with, they're like, who are these people? And we're like, well, this is our team. Like all of us were here at Max, like this is our team. So it was really cool.
I want to switch up a little bit and I want to talk about our coaching staff. Obviously, you guys were all recruited by Boz and a guy who I think has done an amazing job with both of our programs. And of course, Eric too, we can't forget about him. Talk a little bit about what this coaching staff means to you guys. Obviously, they do a great job. Emma, you got Boz walking with you on your A team, which I think probably helped you perform well. Talk a little bit about what they mean to you and how important having that coaching staff is to us being successful.
So, well, for my back nine, like you mentioned, Boss followed me the whole day. He was through every shot. He's watched them all. But then, I mean, from the beginning, like I know I can speak a little differently than the rest, but from the beginning of the first 4 years, it's kind of been a work in progress. It hasn't been, we've kind of done like trial and error. But those two are the closest thing to family I think that we can get. And I think everybody can agree with that one. Boz is the ESPN radio guy and Stauffer is the Justin Bieber guy. So we have a little bit of everything. We can get in the van and we can listen to EDM and whatever Stauffer likes to listen to, or we can sit there and talk about the NFL draft, and they're just the coolest guys.
I will say they do set us up for success in a lot of ways. Boz does a lot of behind the scenes work with like practice plans and making sure each of us have an individualized practice plan so we know what to work on throughout the season. He keeps an eye on all of our stats and gets them set up in Excel for us to see throughout the year so we can see everything that we need to work on over the summer too.
Yeah, and I think overall they just push us to be the best that we can be. And they know, I think, to each one of us, they know what they need to say in order for us to play our best. I know going into the second round, Boz looked at me and he was just like, okay, you do your best on an island, so that's what you're going to do today. And so, yeah, I think they know each one of us very well, and they know what drives each one of us, and they're going to use that so that way we can all play our best.
And I think all of us would agree that if you ever need a laugh, you go to Stauffer.
But
if you have a bad shot, then you just go to Stauffer and just he'll make you laugh.
and does it help too to have a coach who, you know, when there's stuff going on in your life outside of golf that you can talk to and you can, you know, because I think it's tough for college kids. You don't have a ton of adult people that you can literally just go and talk to. You know, regardless if things are not the way you want to do. How important is it to have a guy who, you know, I can go in that office and I can sit down and he's not going to lie to me. He's going to tell me the truth and he's going to do whatever he can to help me. How big is that for each of you guys?
I know for me personally, I mean, that's been huge, especially this last year. It doesn't really matter like what time of day it is, like what's going on. Boz, he'll answer a text. Usually he has a pep talk or he has good advice, and like I know I can go to him, and even if I don't like you said, even if I don't like the answer, I know he's going to tell me the truth, and he's going to, whatever it is, we're going to figure it out and set up a plan, and it's going to be okay. And Stauffer's there, he's going to help us figure out a plan, he's going to make you laugh. So they're great.
Stauffer, we like to call him our life coach. Boz is more of our analytical guy, so if we really need like the truth in an answer, we go to Boz. And Stauffer is the one that will kind of like, you're doing great. He knows we're not. So
I can only imagine that is the first time in recorded history that Stauffer has been called a life coach.
Yep.
Just
but
saying.
he's so like, I mean, like in all honesty, like as Anna said, you can call either one of them, but I know I talk to Stauffer pretty much every day. Mm-hmm. It could be about the most pointless things, or it is honestly like advice about externships or the future and stuff like that. So, I mean, both of them, they would do absolutely anything for you, and you can feel it, and you know that you can trust that they're always there.
They balance each other out.
Mm-hmm. And it's like I think Natalie said, they really are like family.
Yeah.
Well, and for a couple of you, you're not really from around here. In fact, none of you are from really around here. So I would have to think that it is important to have that. Obviously, you have yourselves, you have your teammates, you know, you have that. But to have I think a reliable adult sometimes I think is really important for you guys. And especially, you know, goodness gracious, in the fall and in the spring, you probably spend more time as a group than with anybody else on campus, I would guess, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we move forward. I want to ask everybody one thing. What if anybody else asked you, what would they say about your golf game to describe it? You know, what word, if I asked, you know, Emma, what word would you use to describe your golf game? I want to go through each one of you and see what you would use to describe your particular golf game. Emma, let's go first with you. I'll put you on the spot as the you know, the old one of the group, right?
What I've heard a lot recently was just clutch up. Every single guy on that team has told me that.
Well, hey, let's be honest. You clutched up in the last round big time. You were pretty good. You were pretty good. And even with that throwaway bogey on 18, it didn't matter because we had already won. But you played really well. Was that something you just, you know, obviously Boz guiding you through and you played really well and hit the shot. Would you say that clutch up is it?
I mean, that's the first time I think I've ever done that. I was pretty nervous when he told me, like, hey, this is where we're at and you need to beat your girl by 4 because we're losing by 10. At that moment, I was like, I don't know, because I've never wanted to know my score or anything like that. So when he said that to me, I was like, oh, no. But then at that point, the blinders went on. And I even told him this today, that it was just me and him out there. So I think clutch up might be the little phrase.
All right, Shelby, what about you?
Oh God,
3
hmm.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm like, maybe.
Shelby's probably never missed a fairway. We can
She
go
does
with
hit
that.
a lot of fairways. That is true.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
we'll call you Captain Clutch in the fairway. How's that? Is that fair?
Sounds good.
Anna, what about you?
I'm gonna say intense. Some other people would probably call it
Yes, that's a very fair one. That's very good. Yes. I'm not going to lie. At one point in time in the round the other day, I'm like, I think she would rather knock my head off than talk to me. So I'm just going to walk away because.
No, I think it comes across bad. It's never directed at anyone else. It's only at me, but it's definitely.
It gets
intense.
much worse with a mask on.
Oh,
You
I'm
really
sure.
think she's about to take your head off.
Yeah, no, it was funny because I think, you know, if you've been around sports, you can tell now, conversely, when you're going good, like when Anna's going good, it's fun to watch. I mean, it is like a machine, like boom, boom, boom. And I think that's great. And that, hey, it's the good and the bad. It's the yin and the yang. And that sometimes it's tough to balance sometimes too. All right, Jordan, what about you?
Boy, the first word that came to my mind was like safe, but I'm also thinking grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think I can, no matter where I'm at, it's always just trying to go low. So.
And I think with you too, there's ever since you've been a freshman, I've always thought you're very confident. Like you're just a confident player. Like even when you put yourself in a bad position, you feel like you can get yourself out of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Natalie, what do we got for you?
I would say consistent. I don't really miss a lot of fairways.
No, you don't. No, you're pretty much right down the middle. You are what my golf game I would dream to be, of just hitting it down the middle and hit it down the middle again and hit it down the middle. So
Yeah. Her short game is impeccable as well.
It is phenomenal.
I've never seen a better.
Well, and I also feel like Natalie's kind of unflappable. Like she doesn't. Could walk up to you in the middle of a round. I'd have no idea if you're 4 under or 4 over or 10 over. Like I wouldn't know because you'd be the same person.
And she'd probably tell you that she was sorry for it.
Yes, she would. She would. No, and I think that's what part of it makes it click for you guys is you all have a distinct different personality, but it all works together. You know, I think that you kind of all feed off of it, you know, and I think it helped when you guys played together in the spring because I think you could feed off of each other and be able to do, you know, I heard so many, oh, that's a great shot, nice shot, well played, great, like it seemed so very genuine and just was a great vibe. It was so much fun to be around you guys. I wish that I could come to nationals with you, but we'll catch up.
I wish you could come too.
I know, I would love to be there. It would be awesome. But fortunately, we have a lot of other good teams that are doing really good things this spring, which has been great and a lot of fun. So before we leave, what is the one thing? What would be the one thing you could have at nationals if you could have it happen, short of win? Let's not say winning because we all want to win, right? What would be a successful national championship trip for this York College women's soccer? Oh my God, golf.
Tomato.
I'm telling you right now, it's late for me right now. So yes, women's golf national championship. Go ahead. What would be a successful trip for you guys?
Hole in one. Somebody's got to have a hole in one. Taylor was our sole hole in one this season. We got to have one at nationals.
Well, and let's be honest. We haven't had a hole in one in the women's program yet, right? That was Taylor.
True, Taylor.
Right?
That's a stat.
I will say I was pretty cool that I was there when that happened, even though I did not actually witness it because I was up on the tee box with you guys.
Taylor didn't witness it either. She just heard about it after.
Is that going to be the worst? I mean, let's be honest. You get a hole in one and you don't see it go in the cup.
No. We were like, Taylor, you just missed it. She's like, what?
Oh.
It's okay.
Now, how many of you guys have had a hole in one?
I have not.
No.
Have you been, anybody else? Have you guys been close?
So new goal, Shelby, Anna, and I are going to have a hole in one.
There you go. Let's go. I mean, we have another year and a half to go to get this done. So let's make it a plan.
Got it.
Jordan, what's a successful trip to nationals?
I think just all of us going out there, having fun, and just playing as well as we can. I think just going in with no expectations and just enjoying the whole experience, that would be a successful trip. Whether we shoot in the 80s, whether we shoot all in the 70s or even under par, I think as long as we're going out there and we're playing as well as we can every single day and coming out off the course every day, knowing that we did our best, I think we can't ask for anything more than that.
Anna, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jordan pretty much covered it there. As long as there's no expectations going in, we've never been, like you said. I mean, really, it's just kind of, we want to win, but it's getting a feel for it. So if everyone can go and have a great time and kind of figure out what it's about and play their best golf on that day, I think that's a successful trip.
Shelby?
I would definitely second what Anna and Jordan said because it's going to be new. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of teams. It's probably one of the biggest tournaments we'll ever play in. And we just need to go out there and play our game and focus on ourselves.
All right, Natalie, you get the easy job. You get to go last.
Well, I would agree with all of them too, but also for me, a successful trip would be developing an even stronger bond with all of my teammates. I mean, I can't ask for a better group of girls than this. I mean, I just, if I can go on, sorry. So I just remember we were all standing by the green on the 18th hole at the MAC championship, and I just remember Emma like putting that last putt in, and it kind of hit me. I was like, this group of, all of us are just so talented and so amazing. So yeah, we already did the hard part. All we got to do is just go try our best, and I love every single one of you. So
I think that is just about a perfect way to end. I want to thank you guys so very much for taking part of this. I'm excited for other people to see it as well. And we are so very proud of all of you. It's been a great ride this spring. And certainly this by no means is even close to being finished. You know, we're going to have an opportunity to go to nationals this year and then have the opportunity to come back next fall and really, get an opportunity to do it all again. But the one thing I think we've all learned over the last 16 months is not to take anything for granted. So ladies, enjoy the heck out of it. Go play great and have a lot of fun. And thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
go Spartans!
At York College, we are proud of the fact that we have over 30 cultures and 30 countries represented among our campus community. We not only are proud of that fact, we celebrate the unique perspective and differences that each and every person on this campus brings to us. So on behalf of all of us at York College, I want you to know that you are welcomed here.
Tu eres bienvenido aquí. Vous êtes bien reçu ici. You're very welcome here.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
Você está bem-vindo aqui.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
You are welcome here.
You're welcome here.
معكم رقية آل الشيخ من كلية يورك في بنسلفانيا. أنتم مرحب بكم هنا. We are welcome.
From day one at your College of Pennsylvania, you are welcome here.
We would like to thank our women's golf team, Natalie, Jordan, Anna, Shelby, and Emma for their time today. Certainly great to catch up with them as we look forward to what they're going to do at the national tournament and their first opportunity. So stick with ycpspartans.com for the most up-to-date information as the ladies go through their championship round, hopefully all 4 rounds up in Lansing, Michigan. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Spartans.